he gave them the provision. And sometimes the provision is in places that looks like there is no survival. Y'all missed it. Y'all missed it. If we would go to the desert, we would assume that there are no life in the desert. Nothing can survive in the desert except what is used to the desert. Now here are peoples being sent to a place that they are not used to, but fail to understand that wherever God sends you, he will make provision. Turn to somebody next to you and tell them, wherever God sends you, he will make provision. The thing about that is that we got to learn to see the word in the midst of places that does not match to what God told us. Because all the time, our process to Canaan will not always be a place of rejoicing. The process is a pruning stage to get you ready for the next level. Watch this. You cannot rely on people. You cannot rely on me. The only thing you can rely on is the word that God has allowed to come from heaven. Anything other than that, you cannot rely on. Anything other than faith and work, it will not happen. This is a year, how many believe without faith? How many believe without doubt that this is a year of recovery? Amen. Okay, now let me ask you this. Why do you believe that is a year of recovery?
Because last year was so hard.
Okay, last year was so hard. But there are some things that rolls over into the next year. Watch this. Sometimes God doesn't eradicate or eliminate all of the issues that we had last year, because sometimes there are residues from past issues. We got to allow God to eliminate everything that's in our life. Here it is. It's got to be a faith walk. The thing that we must understand now is that even though churches are developing, they have to not only be developed in how to worship, but they must be developed in how to discipline ourselves. How many know that it's really not about everybody that's around me? Talk to them. How many know that our survival does not depend on what the next person does? It depends on how we disciple ourselves. In other words, we must have enough faith in God and a trust in God to believe that we must start disciplining ourselves in order to get to the next level. Have anybody ever tried to lose weight? I done tried. How many of you went to the gym? How many have been to the gym? Ain't none been to the gym? And done sweated it out. You get on the running track and you run, and you get on the bars and you lift weight, and to a certain extent you get to the point to where it seems like it's not coming off like you want to. Touch somebody and tell them God does not do what is needed for you because of how you want it, but he does for you what is needed for you for the best of you. A lot of times we want God to get us out of it right away. Tell somebody that's not the way God's work. There has to be character. The enemy is after your character and your stability to hang in there when it looks like nothing is going right. From faith to faith. In other words, we got to forget about even our past issue, our past life, and press beyond. Tell somebody, pressing beyond. Pressing beyond. We got to move forward. We got to move ahead. We can't stop because of the obstacles that we face. We must remember and do according to God's will, and he will promote us to the next level. Here we find that the children start complaining about being in a place that was fit for them. Because watch this. If they would have went the way they wanted to go to Canaan, then they would have got into a place where they would have to battle. And sometimes we're not ready to fight.